Good afternoon, everybody. Yes, topical issue 2. To be quite frank with you, I had my notes and everything prepared, but last night I went out for a couple of glasses of wine, and we ended up in Leicester Street, myself and the lads. You know who I'm talking about. And we met a few ladies. Went well on to early hours in the morning. And for the life of me, I can't fucking think exactly what topical issue 2 is. And I had prepared the notes earlier. I think it's a bit embarrassing. But I can say people are very concerned about topical issue 2 because, as we all know, it's related to topical issue 1, which we discussed in great detail yesterday. And there were some very heated exchanges, as there would be on a Sunday when we're called in for an emergency meeting, when we should have been down watching the rugby. But topical issue 2 is a great concern to all the people of Ireland. Otherwise, it wouldn't be up on the screen in front of the TV screen with the people in La La Land, the viewers, are watching this thing on Oireachtas Report. So I'm going to sit down now and I'm going to check my notes and see can I find out what the fuck topical issue 2 is. But that's about all I have to say. As I said, my apologies, I did have a late night, so I'll hand it over to you, Com Carl. What is Com Carl? Is that your real title, or what is it? I'm not like it's sure at all. My God, this is happening. Every Monday morning is the same fucking thing. You come in here with excuses. You were out late, out in Leeson Street, drinking God knows what kind of alcoholic beverages and meeting what kind of tutties. And you come in here and you can't even discuss topical issue 2, which, as you know, we're discussing the election of the new American president, Mr. Donald Trump. Sorry, Trump. And it's not good enough that you stroll in. That other idiot down there, Malloy, will somebody wake him up? He's been asleep. He's just wake him up and get some water and bring him down to the bathroom. Put his head in the sink or something. Because I'm tired of looking at his dozy head shaking around. He looks like one of those, penguins. That's what he looks like. Yeah, get him out of here. Now, I won't tolerate this anymore. Coming in saying you forgot your lines and stuff. I mean, it's not as if it's a Big Brother or something where we're discussing the issues of a nation here. And to come in and say you can't even remember what topical issue 2 is for starters, and then you start on about it's related to topical issue 1. Of course it's related to topical issue 1. That's why the topical issues start 1, 2, 3, 4. They're all connected, you see. That's how it goes. And no, enough of that. I'm going to go over now to a representative from North Kildare, Mrs. I can't think of her name now. 1 second, I'll get it in a minute. Yes, is it Caroline? Karen, no, Catherine Murphy. Yes, my apologies, Miss Murphy. You would like to, you're going to be discussing topical issue 3. I hope the bloody hell you know what you're going to be talking about, because if there's one more person who doesn't know what the topical issues are, they can leave the room right now.
Thank you, Com Carlica. Topical issue 3 is the minute line fare increases for commuters between Leixlip and Dublin. I'm going to put that aside for the moment, because I have a more pressing matter to discuss, and that is, of course, the election last night of the new President of the United States, Mr. Donald Trump, and the people of North Kildare, and I'm sure there's a few below in the South Kildare as well. We'd like to congratulate Mr. Trump on his amazing victory over Crooked Hillary, as we all know her now, and well, you all know her. You all know what she's like anyway, and Bill the same. But Mr. Trump, I think what he's going to do in America is going to be amazing, because he called me earlier on and I got such a shock. I said to myself, Donald, I haven't seen you since I was over in New York back in the day, in the late 80s, and we had a bit of a fling, if you must know the truth. It was only a one-night stand, but there you have it. He was only a young lad, and I was a young one, and sure that's the way it is. But anyway, he was telling me about he's building a big fucking wall that's going to go all the way across the American borders from Texas to California. And the purpose of the wall to be keep out the illegal immigrants and other ne'er-do-wells that are trying to get into America and avail of the great opportunities that are in the United States. And I would like to say that it's going to be a major employment boost for the US economy, because Donald was telling me they expect to employ up to a million labourers building the wall, which will be it will stop the Mexicans and the Nicaraguans and the Hondurans and the Brazilians and the leprechauns. Did I say leprechauns? My apologies, I meant pixies. It will be stopping these blackouts trying to get into America illegally. And it'll also be creating loads of jobs. And it'll all be done well. In fact, my nephew John Paul, I was discussing it with him last night, and he says as soon as Mr. Trump starts on the wall, he's going to get one of those special deals Aer Lingus are doing now, the €399 return. He's going to head over there and earn some proper money. And this wall may in fact help the unemployment rate in Ireland, because like John Paul, my nephew, there'll probably be thousands of young fellas going over there, because I believe he's starting them off at $20 an hour, which is fucking mighty for any young lad worth his salt. He could be up in Lidl's pushing his balls for 10 or 11 euros an hour, and the poor bastards can't even stand up sometimes. It's unbelievable. They might as well be Mexicans. Not whether that's a racist remark or not, I'm not fucking sure, but I can't put it down. I was out in Leeson Street last night as well. But as I was saying, it is a great opportunity for the young people of Ireland to be able to go over there now and get a good wage and a good pay and do what they've been doing for a long time. And I would also like to propose that Mr. Trump was saying it wouldn't be a bad idea if we were to build a fucking wall as well up on the northern borders of Ireland. And not only would it keep out the ne'er-do-wells and other unwanted peoples, specimens, whatever you like to call them, coming into the Irish state and availing of the EU status that we hold, which is very important, because as you know, we've got billions from the EU over the years, and it wouldn't be right now if these fuckers that were involved in the Brexit exit, they'll all be thinking we'll go over to Ireland now because that's the place to be, and if we do want to fucking take a short trip back over to the UK or whatever, we can.
Thank you very much, Catherine, for not discussing topical fucking issue 3. Is anybody listening to me? Next up to discuss topical issue 4, I believe, does anybody know what his name is? You know what, I'm very tired myself. Just talk about whatever the hell you feel like, okay? I don't give a toss. Even if people are watching on TV land, it might be better than the usual nonsense. So off you go, Tom or Bob or whatever you... Good morning, everybody, or should I say afternoon? I'd like to say hello to you all. I know there's quite a few sore heads around the place, but that's normal on the Monday morning. Catherine, thanks very much about for discussing Mr. Trump's new wall. I'd like to say that it's not a bad idea that we build a great northern wall, because as you said, Catherine, it will of course create massive employment opportunities in Ireland, and not that I'm not too sure we would have enough people to actually build a wall, because there was a suggestion when topical issue 1 was discussed on Sunday that we could use the long-term job seekers, many of whom have never had any jobs whatsoever in their career as job seekers. We could get them to build a wall, and if they didn't want to build a wall, well then we could halt their job seeking benefits. But apart from that, there's the issue of there might be still a few people up above in the north who mightn't be too happy about building a wall, and I can say almost certainly that they would have the means and capabilities to blow the fucking wall up if it came down to it. And I think what's even more important now, I am still on topical issue 3, and I'd like to point out to the Camcarlick that we won't be discussing topical issue 4 until tomorrow. And I'd just like to make a point about that it'll be Tuesday before topical issue 4 is even brought up on the table. So I'd just like to point that out. But about the wall, fair play, it's a good idea, but an even more pressing matter is we've been here now for nearly 5 hours this morning. Well, I've been here for 3. I was 2 hours driving to get here, and I'd like to discuss what we're going to have for lunch. Now, last Friday there was a major debate as to whether or not we should be ordering food from Supermax or McDonald's, and it was voted down in the end that we go for Supermax on account of it was an Irish company, and a member of the opposition did in fact point out that McDonald's might as well be an Irish company as well, because there's a lot of Irish people working in McDonald's. But it was also pointed out that the owner of McDonald's, Mr. McDonald, lives in America, so that makes it an American company, and he is in fact a good friend of Mr. Trump. Whether that has got anything to do with the price of turnips or not, I don't know. But I suggest that we order about 40 family boxes. I know Catherine would love a nibble on one anyway, and that'll do. Should keep us going till around 5, and then we can bring the rest down to the uprains, and we can there'll be a match on down later on there we'll be watching. But as for the main line fare increases for commuters between Leixlip and Dublin, in all fairness, this only relates to people, the commuters between Leixlip and Dublin, and at the last count there's only about 10,000 of them. So I mean, as people in La La Land, I mean the viewers, most of them that live out in the country are in Cork, Donegal, Galway, Ballina, Longford, all over the shop. They won't give a shit about the fare increases for commuters between Leixlip and Dublin. And as well, they might not want to give a shit anyway, because it'll have nothing to do with them unless they do in fact come to Dublin for the day. And even if they do, it'll hardly be on the fucking the dart or the whatever the hell that they're using for bringing people between Leixlip and Dublin. They'll hardly be on that train anyway. They'll be going on the intercity, which God bless them, let them do what they want. But anyway, that's all I have to say now. I'd like to thank Catherine again for her discussion on topical issue 2, which she didn't even mention. She said that she had a short forward of it for a second or two, and then she went on about Mr. Trump.
Thank you, Shane, for pointing out that I didn't discuss topical issue 2 about the fare increases for commuters between Leixlip and Dublin. And as you said yourself, it only concerns about 10,000 people of the population of Ireland, which is nearly 6 million at this stage, including the exit Brexiters roaming in through the open borders. But as I said, it doesn't matter a damn about a fare increase between North Kildare or North Dublin, wherever the fuck it is. It doesn't affect the rest. The ordinary working man down the country and in all the other small towns around Ireland don't give a shit about fare increases in Dublin, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't discuss it. And another reason I didn't discuss it was because I had to discuss Mr. Trump's fucking wall. It's very important that we get the walls in order and in place so that we can go on and rebuild this country into the great nation that it was always destined to become until you know yourself what I'm talking about, until the Gombeans came in. What do you find so fucking amusing, Shane, about building a wall? It's very important that we get the walls built and keep Ireland's borders safe. Sitting there like the fucking cat that got the cream. In all fairness, you didn't do much of a fucking speech yourself I'm up here trying to tell people the importance of Mr. Trump's wall, and not just his wall, but the Great Northern Wall that we're planning to build in Ireland. And you're sitting there like a donkey. That's exactly what you look like, a fucking donkey.
That's enough from the pair of you. My God, I didn't know what I was going to be listening to this morning, but I must admit it was quite entertaining. What happened to lights? Don't tell me somebody turned off the fucking power. Okay, everybody, let's wrap it up for today. We'll all go down to Supermix and we'll have some lunch, and then we'll reconvene in about 2 hours. We'll come back and we'll discuss. We'll go over topical issue 3 again. And Catherine, you can tell me about this wall, will you?